you think about the first day and finally getting out there with everybody and seeing everything in action?
I'm just happy to be here. We got a great team, competitors. We're just having fun with it. So I think the first day was a successful training camp. Just helmets. I can't wait to get the pads on, but it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of hard work being done.
John, what's it been like working with Grant so far and how he's been able to come back and then work with Ronnie as well?
Oh yeah, both of those guys are smart players. Like everyone knows that they can do everything. You can move them all around, versatile athletes. But I think the thing is just the work ethic. Grant shook back from that injury. He's going to be a big part of the defense this year. And Ronnie is just exceptional. I don't know how a team didn't, lock him in for a long time, but, hopefully that'll happen. And we just going to go out there and have fun. Hopefully all three of us can put in a lot of work for the team.
And Joe Wood's been talking about using, a lot of nickel packages and stuff like that with the defense this year. What are your thoughts on that and just with the cornerbacks as well? I mean, having all you guys out on the field for certain plays, how do you think that'll go?
Right, that's what the league is coming to. It's a speed league, it's a passing league, and you need guys that can cover. Week one is the biggest example against Kansas City, so we're going to try to keep working at it, get really, really great at technique and fundamentals and our scheme, and we'll go from there.
You guys already watching some Chiefs tape from last year? When does the preparation start for that?
Right now, we're just working on fundamentals, technique, getting back to the basics. You kind of got to inchworm your way through training camp, but I think once the pads come on, we'll dive in a little bit more.
What's it like coming to a new team, but also having to be a bit of a leader? You just got here, but
Right.
You got to take charge a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little different. At my previous spot, I was a leader, but I was like always younger. And now I'm like the second oldest guy, and the first oldest guy is Troy Hill. He came from the Rams as well. So it's kind of like you said, we are the leaders. I'm just trying to set a good example, do things the right way. I've had success in the past, so I'm just trying to bring whatever I did positive here and let everybody else, I want it to be contagious.
Going off of that, I mean, you've got all of these new guys here, the rookies, and there's going to be a lot of position battles. How do you approach that as a leader and also as yourself new on this team? What's the mentality going into that?
Everyone has to prepare like a starter. There's going to be a depth chart. There's going to be starters, week one, but that might change by week 5. So everyone just got to work hard, push each other to be the best that they can be. And if you're the best version of yourself, ultimately the starters may be the starters for a little bit, but it can always change. So if we all prepare like starters and push ourselves, it'll all work out.
Is there anyone specifically that you've had conversations with, maybe one of the rookies or one of the new guys?
Not a specific conversation, but I think it's just like setting the tone. Like if you don't put your best work out there, you can be replaced. So it's all about production in this league, and that's what we're going to do.
From a scheme standpoint, how similar is this defense to the one you played with Coach Staley in Los Angeles?
It's a little different than Coach Staley's defense, but it is similar to Wade Phillips' defense. My first 3 years, I know him and Joe were together, I think in Denver, so very similar to my first 3 years. I'm used to it, kind of things I got to dust off, because Staley's defense is kind of like a too-high shell, catching stuff from depth, and this is kind of like attack in your face. So it's just back to what I did the first 3 years, honestly.
You've played multiple positions and played them well. Is there one that you prefer, or do you enjoy that they're playing multiple spots?
I don't think I prefer one. I think, a different game plan requires, to be in a different spot. So whatever it is for that week, I just want to study the film and put myself in the shoes of another guy playing in that spot and try to, do it better than he did. So I don't think it's one specific position, but I think, the matchups and wherever I fit best, I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability.
John, you were here for some spring practices. I know it's the very beginning of training camp. But can you get a sense for how good this defense can be from being on the field with the guys?
I mean, the sky's the limit. Whatever we put in from now till week 1 is what it's going to be. So it starts, yesterday, and we're going to keep stacking the blocks on top of each other. But I think the sky's the limit. I've been on a pretty solid defense, and there's not too many differences. So I think the sky's the limit for us.
I was going to say, are you kind of taking inventory of how it compares with the Rams, given that you guys were number 1 last year?
Right. When I first got drafted, I made a comparison. When I first got signed here, I made a comparison. I said, I'm going from Aaron Donald to Myles Garrett, Jalen Ramsey to Denzel Ward. So, when you got guys that can rush and guys that can cover, you're going to make a pretty good defense. So we just got to hone in on the techniques and fundamentals, tackle really well, and I think, we could duplicate what we did last year.
Myles is pretty freaky, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's like a Power Ranger. He's like a machine.
John, what about the just the idea that there are so many new faces. Is there something to gelling and being ready in time, you know, for week one? May it take longer than that? What's your thought on that kind of talk?
I don't think it'll take long. I do think it requires, you know, more effort. You know, we got to build that chemistry, whether it's on the field, off the field, you know, locker room, just around the facility. You know, get to know guys. The teams that, you know, do the best in the end are the teams that are the most connected teams. So I can just remember that Super Bowl year with the Rams. We were bonding. Everything we were clicking. Even offense, defense, special teams. Everyone did everything together. So I think if we can get that here, we can have a lot of success.
What do you think is the key to do it? Is it communication? Is it just having a feel for other guys and trust, or is it more than that?
I think it's just being open, you know, to other people, you know, being welcoming, being warm, you know, being caring, actually wanting guys to succeed, you know, not hating on anybody, but no egos, you know, just wanting the best for other people. And I think we have the potential to have that here, so we just got to do it.
Is there a line you walk in that, like, I'm the new guy, but I should also be a leader? Like, is it awkward, I guess, maybe would be a decent word?
I wouldn't say awkward, but I think you got to earn your stripes. Definitely got to earn your stripes. You know, when I first got here, I was myself, but I didn't really say too much. Now I'm a little more comfortable. But I think you definitely got to earn your stripes, and that comes on the field. It's the true meritocracy. You got to really earn it each and every day.
As you get to know these guys and become familiar with them, and I know you just said something about Miles, but is there anybody who's really stood out that has kind of grabbed your attention, made you think this guy's going to make a difference for us?
It's hard to pick one, but I can just say Anthony Walker stood out to me. You know, he's the signal caller for us. He's going to be a big part of this defense, and you know, we live close by each other. We talk about ball all the time. The previous place he was at, they had a lot of success on defense, so he really stands out to me as that. You know, he's in the middle. Everyone goes through him, and it'll trickle down amongst everybody else. So,
are you like, are you telling him like, hey, if, you know, I'll do rock, paper, scissors with you for signal call? Are you okay, like, hey, letting the middle linebacker handle that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's traditional. You know, the middle linebacker calls it. You know, last year was a special case. But I had fun doing it last year, but he's definitely got it. He knows the defense really well, and he deserves to be the signal caller. So I'm going to take my role and be back there overseeing, you know, formations, motions, splits, and stuff like that. That's my role this year, and he definitely got it, though. That's his job.
You'll still be staying busy then.
Right, absolutely.
Hey, real quick, Ellis Williams, Cleveland.com. I say the chain looks great, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. This is my first day here, so forgive me if you've gotten a version of this question already. You obviously have played on some really good defenses, and not just last year.
Right.
You know, through your time there, and you had a teammate here from that same team. Are you able to take things you learned there in Los Angeles and bring them here? Maybe even, you know, show Joe Woods a few things. Not that he needs it, but just, you know, defenses change so quickly year to year, right? Are you able to bring some of that in, or is it just like it's a whole new experience and you and Troy obviously just the players you remain to be?
Oh, definitely. You know, you definitely want to pick their brain. They pick our brains, you know, just about things that we picked up on, things that we had success, you know, teams that we might play in the NFC that we have, you know, history with that AFC team might not. So it's just things like that. I talk with Coach Jeff Howard a lot, just trying to get, you know, guys in the right situations to have success. So we definitely, you know, bounce off of each other and try to build. And Troy at that nickel spot, he's played outside and inside, so he has a lot of knowledge as well. So it's definitely an open forum, but we do have a true identity already.
What's the experience like for you as a safety practicing against this offense that's going to have multiple tight ends and multiple running backs on the field?
Yeah, it's a little new. You know, in the NFC West, there's a lot of 11 personnel, you know, one tight end, a lot of receivers on the field. But it just goes back to, you know, like college and early NFL days with Coach Wade's defense. He really prepared us for, you know, tight ends and fullbacks and stuff like that. So I've played a couple teams that have that similar scheme, so I'll be all right. You know, it takes a little bit of adjusting.